So I'm in Chicago. I took a red eye last night, and I've been thinking a lot about how the locker room dynamics for the 49ers have changed since the pandemic. I haven't been in the locker room in 2 years. The last year I was in there was 2019. That was Jimmy's locker room. He used to come through, spend a lot of time, do a lot of smiling, laughing, hanging out with Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle. He would really socialize in there and sort of do the rounds, almost like he was a politician. Now, 2 years later, he's the backup quarterback. Same locker, but he comes through very quickly. It's almost like he doesn't want to be seen. He shuffles through quickly. He goes right to his locker. He changes, leaves. That's what he does. It's almost like you'd miss him. What's interesting also is that Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, they say the right things about each other in public. When Jimmy comes through and does his very, very brief cameo in the locker room, him and Trey don't seem to acknowledge each other. It's like they don't see each other. Jimmy his locker is sort of in the middle of the room. There are these pillars of four, like a quadrant of four lockers in the middle of the room. He's got one of those. Trey is up against the wall in the middle of the room. And he comes through and he's the opposite of Jimmy. Jimmy's going as fast as he can to get out. Trey's going slow. He's going real slow, taking his time, walking to his locker. And he stays in the locker room for 45 minutes, the entire time. Puts on his clothes slowly, just hangs out in his locker, puts on lotion. And he doesn't walk around, but he's open to the room and he's acknowledging all kinds. Hey, Debo! Hey! And people walk over to him. The young players are extremely drawn to Trey, and he's just sort of like getting comfortable in the room. He'll go shoot some shots. He'll take some jumpers. They have a hoop in their locker room. And he'll talk to anyone that goes up to him. Players, media. He's not like one of these players that's like, hey, not now. I talked already this week. It's like, hey, what do you want to talk about? Life, whatever. So he owns the room. And the vibe I get from him is, this is my locker room. And, you know, all respect to Jimmy Garoppolo, but dude, this is my room. I'm hanging out. And if that's uncomfortable for you, maybe you shouldn't be in here. Now, it's all unspoken. But I think it's very interesting how, you know, Trey Lance has just sort of made it his. And Debo seems to be right in line with it. Brandon Ayuk, all the young guys. It's just, I haven't seen Kittle in there. He's hurt, George Kittle, but I haven't seen him in the locker room. I'd really like to see how he interacts with the new locker room dynamic because, you know, he was part of the Jimmy Garoppolo years. And now it's Trey's team, Trey's locker room, and we'll see how the older guys feel about that.